Okay, good afternoon, guys. Sorry for the apologies for the lateness. Silvercodes. My full name is Otenai Koluatobi, and I'm Silvercodes on Slack everywhere. You probably might check under his Twitter, also on Instagram. Okay, so welcome, guys. How is the week? How is the weekend going from your hand, and how is everything at your side? And I hope everybody had lunch. Well, me, I'm fasting for today, though, so I hope everybody's not like me. Don't mind me, I've eaten. I just even finished eating a mala now, but that's actually very fine. So, how is it going on your hand? I would like to guys how is going from your hand. Who are the party guys that are in the party right now? And who are those watching football matches? And I believe everyone, the guys here, probably some of them are not watching football like me, but those of you that are watching, well, you come back to come and see the video. So I just hope everybody's weekend is going fine and everybody is fine. Everybody's enjoying themselves. What are your challenges you're actually facing? Code related. Well, it's not code related. Can also DM me if you don't feel like talking about it here. But after aside that, how is it going with you guys? Hope everything is good and hope everything is cool. So with this being said, I would like to just jump to what we're here for, what we are supposed to do today, which I will be starting first with the questions from the forms. Yes, today we might have enough time to take some questions on the chat, but if peradventure we can't take all the questions on the chat. But if peradventure there are ways for us to take them, sure, we would always take them. So, with all that being said, let's just jump right into what we are here for today. Okay, I have one of the first person asking the question: how can I insert image URL in CodePen without having an error message? Well, about this, I in the previous class I had, I am sure because I took that class, I'm sure I said something about this. How to add image in CodePen. Let me open CodePen right to my right. I said something about you trying to add image to CodePen, how it work, and how you can copy image online for it to work on CodePen. But because CodePen requires you can't just upload image. You don't have any folder. CodePen requires you to use an image URL. And I told you guys how that will work previously. So let's just go there. So we have something like this: IMG SRC equals. Oh, I have this. Then let me just add my health equals this what is it called? There's quotation mark. Oh, let me just leave that. Okay, so let me just look for a random image. Okay, the previous image I used was Sony Sanga. I love Sony Sanga so much, so you just pardon me that I'm still using Sony Sanga. So don't mind me. He's one of the best tutor I've also seen on YouTube. He's very, very good. I recommend him though. Not as if I'm recommending him for recommending sake, but just something that would just help you grow. Great, good and fine. So let me just what you just do is when you come to your browser, you right click, you have copy image address. So that's all you need to do. Copy image, not copy link address, you just copy image address. Come to your code pen where you have your issue, paste it here, and you would have Sonisanga reviewed here shortly. Yeah, this is Sonisanga. So this is the way you can copy it. Let me recap. What you have here is image, source, you have it pasted in your source, then that's like alternative to the image for it to preview. I believe we have been taught about this alternative thing. So let me just show you what, because I don't want other questions. So people that probably may have issues of this alternative, let me remove this. I'm just commenting some things out from it. So what this does is this Onisanga this thing does is that if the image is not there, what do you want it to reveal to users? How do you want it to look? Because you would always have issues like probably copied an image, then the owner maybe for example, if Sonisanga decide that this image that is being posted, they want to remove it from YouTube. Once it's removed from what is it called, from wherever it is pasted, you would have issues because that image does not exist anymore. So what is the fallback for users that are viewing that page and probably supposed to see an image? So the fallback will be this on Sanga. So it's always important, even though the image is not hosted on your local, and always very important for you to always put it alternate. Yeah. So that's one of the questions I have. So let me continue. I hope this would actually solve the person's issue. Then also solve probably any other person that's having similar issues. Then I also have somebody who's asking that I wasn't graded for some tax, and the tax on submission links, I realize is not all the link that is opening as a feedback comment, please. Can you please help me recheck? Oh, apologies for this. I've also been getting feedbacks from students asking for regrade, probably that the tax were not opened at the time they requested for it, that the grader was grading it. Apologies. And just to tell you, it will not be regraded. That's so unfortunate. Sadly, it should not be regraded. So there's nothing that you can do about it. You can't do anything about it. I'm not previewing anything though. So there's nothing you can do about that for the sake that your tax is not, you submitted and you not open the link. You can't do anything about that. Nobody will regret it for you. It won't be regretted. The only time you can ask for regret is when you probably have issues, and yes, there are issues on it. That's the only time you can get regretted. So aside that, you will not get any regret for it. Okay, so I have the next person asking another question. That's Sarah. Row span and co-span are not reflecting on the tables. Is there any solution? Oh, this, well, it's not like it's normal, but I know these are issues people probably come about, see. And it's not like it's a good thing, but it's just one thing I know. For now, you may not avoid it, it's not avoided. So for that, you've not been graded a lot. That's Vivian. You'll be graded, sorry. Okay, for that, so what I would just say for that co-span, that people are not seeing the co-span. The issue is that you're not properly implementing or writing the co-span language. So what it is that just say co-span. Let me give an example. Yeah, let me zoom my screen so that you can probably see very well. Okay, great. No, let me over zoom it. So yeah, this is okay. So let me just reduce this. So this is like I only put a template here which I got from W3 schools. You can check it out also if you still have issues knowing about the, what is it called? Probably watch the video, you don't still understand full lot about the tables. You can check W3 schools. There are more insights about it. Okay, so you have this TH. So let me use co-span. Co-span equals 2. Let me use 2. You'll see what will happen to this. Co-span 2. If you notice, this was here before. So what I'm saying is I want 2 extra space. I don't take 2 space. I don't take my space and another space. So I see that this country moved out. So from the tutorial that you had, if you use this co-span appropriately, you will not have the issues probably feel you are having right now. So let me just remove this now. Control Z. Oh, sorry, I commented everything. Let me just remove the co-span aspect of it. You'll see that it's going to be normal, where you have the full 3 columns, which is this. So if you are using the co-span correctly, you will not have the issue. Likewise for the row span. So you can see it's floating out. Like this is floating out, which is because company is taking 2 spaces, like it's taking a space and another space, extra space. So let me just change it to row span so that you can verify that it's actually working correctly. Probably you are spelling the row span wrong or doing it wrongly. So you can also see the row span is also working correctly, which is taking up and down. This is at the middle. So you can see the space between, like, in it. So the row span and row co-span is working very well. So you should just try your best to see how you can implement that for it to work on your own hand. Okay, that's the same CodePen, so it's not like it's the browser issue or something. The same CodePen that you are asked to use in submitting that I'm also using. So if it's working there, I can assure you that it's also working on VS Code or any other platform that is used for coding, or ID likewise. So you have another question: when adding CodePen to the last table cell, I noticed that the cell did not increase in size, and even after increasing the width of the cell. Okay, you added what? Co-span. So let's try that again. Person added CodePen to the end of the table. So let's say the end here is country. So let me just remove this. Let me just remove the way I have this CodePen. So let me put CodePen here. This should be CodePen. CodePen 2. Let it refresh. So this is it. And yes, the reason why this is like for you to verify that CodePen is working, try row. When you try the row, change this to you see, it shows that this one is working. The row span, why it's not working? Because there's no extra span around it. If this is it, CodePen, let me just copy this contact place. Let me copy it and put it in the next place. You will not see any effect around it, but it's taking that's the full width of it. But if we should do this, you will see it. You will see what it will happen to it. See, span. Oh, let me do this to this other ones. But it also work with the width of what is it called of what you're actually doing also. So you can see CD. So sorry about that. Okay, so let me show you. This is it. So you can see that the row span is not that C2 is not extending to the contact outside. See, because I read CodePen here, it's telling me that there's an extra what is it called here. So it's actually working, but you're not just seeing it. It's working. For you to test that it's working, just on the first column and the second column, just include something in it. So you can see that even though there are 4 columns here, there are also 4 here. What this one is having is 5. What is here is 4. It's not falling under. So for you, you can see the mark here. This is not falling. There's nothing under the contact us because country has taken 2 space, which is the Germany and this contact over here. So for you to tell that it's working, try to just add an extra space, like extra one, the way I just did, and you will see it working. So that should not be an issue if you follow this tutorial and also check it very well. Let me just do a little recap because I know you may not probably understand and maybe it's confusing to you. For the recap, what I did here was just simply adding, let me remove this. You will see that as you said, rightly said, that is not showing. So this is it. I've removed this. Removing this makes everything look as if there's nothing, like it's not taking any space. It's not taking the countryside is not taking any space. But when I include a new this thing here, and I also do the same thing here, you will see the difference. And to tell you that, oh, there is 2 columns here that this is actually taking, while there's nothing here. So that's because of this 2 that is being here. That's why you can see there is more space here. So at the end of it, you may not notice it, but just add it there. We just want you to understand these are some of the difficulty you might, and not difficulty, but challenge you might actually get as a developer. Something that is working properly, they would ask you, what is the error in this code? And everything is working properly, and probably there's no error, but they just want to see how you actually think. So with that being said, I'll move on to the next question that we have. So we have somebody also saying, is it a requirement for HTML skeleton in CodePen because I was graded 1 out of 3 on introduction about myself tags, not using this. The introduction about yourself, they said create an HTML page. I also have people also in my DM also asking similar question. They said create an a HTML page, not just a page. They not say, do you see there are 2 things that you've noticed on the previous one where they said you should create, write about yourself. Reason they did not say create an HTML page. An HTML page requires a skeleton of an HTML. Yes, CodePen might throw you errors, but for it to be on the safer side, try to include the code in this thing. If you can notice my code here, I'm still printing out, and I've said it before this task was given. That's previous Sunday. Yes, I can see this error, but that is not stopping my code from running. It's working. It's only telling me just HTML that goes in the body goes in here. I know it's telling me to remove all this, but we require you at some point to put it so that we can know that, okay, yes, you know it. So that way, why it is good for you to do this is that when you get to your VS Code and probably your shift, what is it called, is not working. This shift is not working. You will not be this, what is it called, shift one that brings up this exclamation mark is not working. You will not have the challenge of, oh, how will I do it? I need to go to Google. Oh, I don't have data. How can I bring out this thing? I need to submit this work urgently. But because you've already known some of the things in your head already, you know what is next. You know, after doc type, you go to HTML, you go to head, then you have the body. So you don't have that challenge. But if you feel, okay, no, you don't need it. Yes, you may not need it now, but you don't even know. Maybe that may be one of your interviews when you get an. I'm not saying it's an interview question, but you may get as an interview question that, okay, just give us the HTML skeleton, how it looks like. Then because you've not been doing it, you're going to CodePen and just be writing your body part of it without the what is it called? Without the HTML skeleton part, you would fail. Then you will regret at that time. So it's always advisable, follow principle, follow the normal process. So let me just shift away from that, and I hope you would also see that useful, and thinking about it logically, you will know that it's actually going to help you. Then I have somebody also asking, um, how do I add image in VS Code, and how do I connect VS Code to my GitHub account? I'm very sorry, Mr. or Mrs. Gift Paul. I will not be answering this question. And the reason why I will not be answering it is because it is not, even though you have the resources to read, it is not one of the, what is it called, criteria for this week task, and it's not something you people require for this week's task. So I would not also confuse anybody who is also on this program. So if you feel you have this challenge, one thing you can do is browse about it if you can wait for that week, or reach out to a mentor, but not me. So because the normal logic is try to follow the process, go through the videos, not for you to start it. If you're not a beginner, wait for the beginners and don't let the beginners get intimidated that programming is not for them. Programming is for everyone, and it should be for everyone. So that is actually to any everybody planning to ask questions, not relating to the week or what has been taught. So great, good and fine. So after somebody was asking, that's Groli Ochai was asking, I haven't seen any I haven't seen any post or tags on Frontend. I have created my Figma account and I've published it. Oh wow, you've not been seeing anything post on Frontend. Please, Glory, it's great if you send your ID, but all your posts should be on the post part and the tag should be in the tag section. So I'm kind of confused why you've not seen this, you've not been seeing. And if it has been a very long while, you should have also asked, because it is required. You ask questions on things you get confused about. Then as somebody was saying, please, how do I know any order in which we have to watch videos uploaded to the learning place? How do I access the resources on LMS for learning? For our mode and be sorry, let me just call the names. Yeah, okay, Bimbola. What you should just do is, if you have access to the LMS, which I believe you have access to, what you are expected to do is go to the Zuri part of it. You have, what is it called? You have the post section. In the post section, you would see where you have weeks. So let me start from this number 10, this part. You will see the weeks and their time. So you have Node.js Officer 1, which is, but your own is front end. So let me try to get it. Front end week 1, introduction to programming. So what you just do is click on it. It takes you to a new page. You would have, in order of arrangement, you have introduction to Figma, which is video 1, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are videos. These links that are seen in the blue format, that are videos. So you should always try to click it. Probably might be having issues of not knowing what is it called. Oh, so this is what you should just do. Click it in order of priority, in order of, what is it called, arrangement. 1, 2, 3, like that. Then also go to week 2 stacks, look for it, and also watch videos like that. You always see all videos with their all videos have their what's it called on top, that track that's like front end, back end, and your Node.js, sorry, front end, Node.js, PHP, Python, product design. You always see them in front. See, front end office hour, front end week one is just for product design, week one is just for Node.js, week one, same thing, though. So you will always see it. So follow them in order of priority, the way I just showed now, and you'll be good to go. You won't have any issues with the resources. You know, having that question is, I don't understand block quote tag well. Must we attend all office hours? For the person who is asking, must you attend all office hours? Well, office hours are, I said it during the last part. Office hours are not, they're not very important. They're not compulsory like that for you. But it's always necessary for you to say, okay, yes, this is what I'm taking, and I just need to, what's it called? If I have questions, let me tell one advantage of office hours. You might not even know about something. Somebody might have asked that question. So you being the person that, okay, you don't need it, you don't need office hours, you don't even know that question the person is asking. Then you missed it. Then maybe later in the future, that question somebody asked might be what you are facing the challenge on. Then you've missed it already. Office hours, what I discussed there is not in your resources. Some are in your resources, yes, but some of the questions are not broken down probably in your resources the way it is like this. So office hours are not important. I will not say that I'm not compulsory, but I'll advise you that it's great for you to attend them if you can. So let's copy something out, and the other question the person had, which was how to use block quotes. Let me just, I copied it from W3 schools. I will explain every part of it. So this is it. Every block quote is to have sites. Hmm? So this is what it means. Let me write other things. You see the difference. Block quote, as its name also implies, block quote is like spacing something, moving to like quotation. You are quoting something. So let me just block quote in English. Quote meaning. You would always, one thing, if you don't know the meaning of something, even in HTML or something, always try to like browse it and check. You would always see the meaning. Google has almost everything you need. So it's a length quotation that is formatted so as to be set off from the main text of the web page. So you will notice that we wrote this same thing on the same line. So block quote will give an extra spacing. So anything I write here, anything I write inside here would maintain that spacing, no matter what. Let me write a lot more, a lot. Let me just, sorry, don't just pardon me that I'm writing this gibberish that is not needed. So it's enough. Okay, I think it's enough. You can see, still on that same line, it will take it that way, just like block quotes. Taking it in a quote kind of way. You have where you see all this quotation was not quotation rather, don't pardon me. Quote in normal listen. So that's one function of block quote. You can see also from the browser, normal English about that. Okay, I think that's the last question I have on this my form. Since we still have some little time, not up to hour, I would just take. Let me see. I can take some questions from the YouTube, but I know I will not be taking a lot. So I hope you came first though. Somebody was asking, I have not been grading a lot of tests. You'll be graded, Miss Vivian or Mr. Vivian Chiminamdi. I feel it's Miss. You'll be graded. Just be calm. Then I have somebody who's also asking, I've also not been graded a lot of the tests. Yes, you'll be graded. Just become to actually, you all be graded. Then I also have another question by same Miss Vivian who is asking, or Mrs. who is asking, the CodePen didn't work for me too. I hope after this class you would get it to work following this tutorial and you would know. So, sir, please help recap on the project you were treating yesterday. Oh, I was not the one took the last class. That was yesterday's class. So I'm not sure I know the project you're talking about, but you can always watch that video. Well, tomorrow I said I will doing recap on my timeline, so I would see. Hopefully, we'll have a recap tomorrow of the weeks of what was taken this week. But if at all we are not able to also figure out what to do, then I also have somebody who's asking, please, there is time lag on my LMS as at 11 a.m. today. It was showing 8 hours for submission close, and at 2 a.m. I want to submit the tables biography submission. Oh wow, probably you should have just checked your time lag. I'm not sure, but if that's the issue, I'm very sure the management would have said something about it. Oh, this is actually strange though. But if that's it, I would like to also know. Please, I'm interested in that. Then I have somebody who's also asking, please, okay, please use it for last column. There were that will have a problem. Yeah, I used the code span in the last column as you saw, and I think you also saw the output. Yes, nothing seemed to change, but adding, what is it called? Adding more this into it. Let me just show you something. Let me go back to that post span thing because I think a lot are not still getting it fully. So let me see. Oh, did I see a table? Okay, let me check. Let me check. Oh wait. Reach of 100. Okay. Where is the coastpan country? Why is that so fast? Okay, hostpan. Let me just make sure that maybe you're looking at other side of it. I added coastpan here is not previewing, just a recap. Then let me do this again. It's not going to show. You will not see any changes. You will not see coastpan. I added coastpan here. What it's just going to do for me is add extra one. But now let me add this column. You see the difference? Just shift this contact to the other side and give me that spacing, because country automatically is saying two. Country is saying two. If I remove this code span, you see that this contact will go to under this contact. Same thing. You can see that. But this code span, adding it, yeah, more spacing. Then if I remove it from here, I don't need it. What will you see? You will see that that code span is still taking the next part. So you can have, what is it called? Because see it, you can see. Is it telling me that this place is true because there's extra this in here? But if there's no extra thing outside after that code span, you would not see it. You just be neutralized to be like zero, like nothing is there, but it's there. So you should be able to understand that. Code span is funny, but read more about code span. It might look confusing to you, but when you read more about it, you'll be able to understand what is being said about the code span. Then I have somebody say who asked, a code span is not working for me. Oh, sorry, Peter. Sunday, you should just try this again and let's see. It should work. Just put it. Yes, it's not working. It's not showing on the last part of it, but it's working on normality. So try it. Oh, code span don't work for ending table. Yeah, on Machishora. Sorry if I pronounce that wrong. I'm very sorry, but you are correct. That's actually correct. Uh, Somebody is also asking, is the class attribute a style? No, class attribute is not a style. Class attribute is just like class is just an attribute. Like for you to distinguish, I think I should just browse what attribute means. One place I recommend people always do is, if it's English, try to just browse it. Attribute in HTML. That way I do it. You will know the meaning. See, attribute HTML has got a modifier on the HTML element. An attribute either modifies the default functionality of an element, provides. Let me just look for a simpler one. This is Wikipedia, though. The class attribute is used to associate an element with a style sheet, and it specifies of element. That's the person asking for that class attribute. It only makes you make a difference about that class. It makes you know that okay, this is what this what's it called? This maybe this tag is taking this class attribute and this is what is there. It makes it distinguish, makes it identify that this is only thing on this what is it called class, in case you want to go and style it or you want to do any other thing to it, so you can call it faster. If you have a lot of H1 on your page and probably you need to style one, you don't need to go and start doing H1 ends what is it called, try to style it differently like that. For you to style one particular one differently, you probably may need an attribute. An attribute will help you to identify, to modify that this is different from other tags. So I hope this would help you understand more about the class attributes and the difference and how to use it. Then I have somebody saying the B school explained it well. Well, that's that may be true. Yeah, that's cool. That's one big thing that will also help you reading up not just the theoretical aspect, but also like not just the practical aspect, but also the theoretical aspect. Oh, so I need the link for Slack. I lost that great point. Oh, I'm not sure I have the link to Slack if you have not gotten it yet, but it was on the LMS. But let's see. If you have, just send a message to the question part on the what is it called, LMS. You probably will respond to it. So I have another person who's asking just a quick question. So what impact does the class attribute have? The class attribute, like I said, is like a modifier. It helps you to identify what is it called. If you want to style or you have any other thing, maybe JavaScript to on a tag, it helps you to say this particular what is it called tag. This is the class. Just like okay, let me put it this way, in a very real life scenario, the surname of everybody is different. Aside maybe your family members or something, but that surname helps you to say this is also person. You can have plenty Toby, but if you need to give one Toby a scholarship or something, it must have a surname. So you can say, okay, Toby Otenike won a scholarship. So it helps you to identify that Toby Otenike. But if you feel, without putting that, what's it called, Otenike at the back, if you say Toby won a scholarship, then the person will be surprised which Toby won a scholarship. Then you have to ask. Same thing with JavaScript. JavaScript is also saying, so the same thing with HTML. HTML is also saying when you're putting that class, this class I'm giving to Toby or H1. So let me just say H1. I'm giving to H1. So if you want to call it style or you want to use the JavaScript for that H1, because of that class you've called it, you can identify who you are giving that class to. You know who needs that class. But if you just call H1, then all the H1 would get that what is it called, the style you want to give it to. So I hope that would help you to understand what I mean. Thank you, sir. Just confirm the course spanner. Oh, Peterson, great. That actually worked for you. So happy about that. Then somebody will ask, okay, thank you, Tobiana, for asking for help for assisting Susan. Thank you. Then please, could you shed more light on the row span and co-span? Oh, I think I just did that again. So I would like to know what exactly looks confusing in row span and co-span. I see a lot of people having this issue, but I think I've broken it down. But probably I'll just have to go into W3 schools. Let me check my time. Okay, I'll go into W3 schools to show you more examples of co-span and row span and to help you. Then have another person asking another question. Um, does CodePen also help with predicting codes like Java VS Code does? Oh, sadly, no, not like that. It's not really functional like that. The only one you understood that I've seen is this, what is it called? Is this shift, this one, which when you just press tab, it automatically gives it to you. But other things I've not seen it. Because even writing H1 or whatever this thing like CodePen, VS Code is one of the best IDE. I've always said that and I'll still say that. One of the best IDE I would recommend a beginner to always use. So I have some another person who's saying, please, there is time lag on my LMS at 11 a.m. today. I think I've answered this. I think I've answered this. Then I have somebody who's saying, please, can you share more light on description HTML tag? I saw something like description. Why are you doing the assignment? Share more light on description HTML tag. What do you mean by description HTML tag? I fully don't understand what you mean by description HTML tag, though that's the manual. Probably can see ask before the time runs out. Ask about that. Then I have somebody who said another question, which is, "Hello, please. I really don't understand how Slack works, but I send message to you tutors, but none of you have responded. For once, I still sent you a message this morning, but yet no response." Oh, sorry about that, Nathaniel. If you sent me a message, if it's about regrade, I sadly I respond to most of them, but probably I missed yours because I had a lot of DMs out of yesterday night to this morning. But you should always know I would respond to people that actually have DM'd me would respond. I would respond to it when I say it, but a lot also respond to it too, though. So then somebody was also asking, I'm trying to even check the question you asked. Okay, let me just leave that for now. Then somebody also asking, is it a must for Blockquotes to have a site? Well, it's just, you know, some things in HTML or code is not as if they would break anything, but they're compulsory, they're necessary. Don't just what's it called? Ignore them. They're necessary for them to work. It may not bring up any errors for you. If I remove this, it may not show any error. It won't. It won't. I don't think. I'm not sure it should. But it's needed. You see, no error whatsoever. Nothing is changed. But adding it to looks like there's nothing. There's no what's it called in it. But it's something that is needed. You need it. You need it. Then I also have another person who is asking, "Good afternoon, sir. Please, you said you would talk about the roadmap for a front-end developer. Yeah, yet. Oh, okay. What I would just advise, I sent somebody a book at a particular point. The roadmap. This is the site I would advise mode roadmap front end. Is okay. This is it. This image says it all. So it's on this image. You can just target roadmap front end whatever. You would see this image shows you a quick clarification of how, what is it called, what it means by that roadmap, the graphical on what you should learn, so that you don't, because I know a lot of people have this. Oh, where is it? Okay, this is it. This is it. Internet, which we started with, which is the normal one, which is then HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which is also enough for you to get your first job. But what I will just tell you is, so that you don't have the issue of, okay, I need to learn this, I'm learning this, and learning irrelevant for you. So try to get a roadmap and follow. Don't just say, okay, for example, yes, it's good for you to know MySQL, Mongols for a backend person or something, Mongols, or what is it called? Oh, MongoDB. But knowing one is enough. What's the need of you knowing React, Vue, Angular? You are knowing three different things that even just React alone is enough. So try to get a roadmap will always help you people. Then we have very limited time. So my image for the laptop are not showing when I use it for background. Oh, your image are not showing. Please, how do I use Figma? Okay, somebody asking how to use Figma as a designer or as a front end developer. Fabulous. As a front end developer, there should be okay. As a front end developer, I would see probably on this class tomorrow. I will show you how Figma would work as a front end developer, not as a designer. I don't know how to use. Not as if I don't know, but that's not something we're supposed to talk about. Yeah. Then so how do I use my image from the laptop? Not showing when I use it for background. If I are using it on your, what is it called? If you're using it on your CodePen, it should work. But if you are trying to say you want to use it on your VS Code, and that means you're not calling the correct route. Try to check how to structure parts for your HTML, structure part in your HTML, you'll be able to see how to direct the path to the correct one. Then now somebody was asking, okay, Mr. Sylvercodez, I want to arrange button towards the right side of my page. How do I do it? I want to arrange buttons towards the right side of my page. That's I'm not seeing your code and I don't know what you want to do. So Miss or Mrs. or Mr. Vivian, you can send me a DM screenshots I will want to achieve because I really don't know what you plan on achieving with that. Then now somebody will say, okay, it does, but it's not as perfect as PS Code. Okay, somebody Mola, you're trying to answer somebody. Look, that's great. Thanks for helping and also replying the person. Then somebody is asking, I need a link to Slack too. Oh, but that was open. But if that's the case, please just send a message in the question part so that you'll be responded to. Then I have somebody also asking, um will you guys teach JS? Yes, sure, we'll teach JS. You will teach JS, sure, you will. There's JS will be taught. You would actually get the basic and also a very good understanding of JS. I can't get your Slack name on Slack. I tried the name, but Sylvercodez is with the Z. I also wrote it here. I'm also writing it here now to the chat for you to see. Sylvercodez. That's from Sylvester and then codes. Anyway, let's move ahead. The thing is, I tried several times for the tribute assignment using the correct syntax. I didn't show on live run. Oh, this image thing, I tried several times for the tribute. Oh, wow. Probably should watch the way I did it from the video. And if you're still having a challenge, just send me a screenshot of what you're trying so that I'll probably correct it. The best way to get help from mentors or from anybody, there are a whole lot of DMs probably to answer, and you will not expect somebody will say, okay, I'm trying to publish my, let me give a simple scenario. I'm writing content in my p tag and it's not prevaling. How would I know how you structure the p tag? So when you send screenshots, it would help the mentor know that, okay, this is what you mean. Okay, these are the errors. Screenshot helps identify errors very fast or omissions very fast. Because sadly, what's it called? HTML is a markup language, and no matter what you write in HTML, you never see error. You never see the error. If you write multiple error, call P in a capital letter or whatsoever, you will not see the error. It will work because it's a markup language, so it's not taking any error like per se. But just good enough just to throw it out. Okay, there's an error. CSS will just ignore it. It will not show. Probably you call capital letter, what is it called? Background color, everything all caps. CSS will just ignore it for you. You will not do as if it sees that it's seeing it. It's called cascading. What is it called? Style sheets. So that's it. Okay, we have just 4 minutes. So let me just say, don't know what happened to my CodePen. Auto assignment I've submitted has changed to same URL link. Wow, that's interesting. If you have this issue, don't know what happened to my CodePen auto assignment I've submitted today, has changed to same link. You should actually be sure you're submitting the right link. You're not submitting the right link might give this error that you feel you have now, but always try to submit the right link. That's why I said networking and peer. When you have your peers with you, always makes it better because you would be able to tell them to assist you check things. You'll be able to tell them, okay, please, I don't know, my assignment is submitted. The assignment is submitted. Can you help me check if it's working on your hand? Then you get the feedback for that. But if you just put it that, okay, I will just do it alone and I will submit. I don't want anybody to copy my code. Probably you're scared of them copying your code, so they will not submit the same thing with you. But bro or sis, I'll tell you, you probably will be doing yourself because you might have submitted one of the wrong things. Aside, you are very sure that okay, yes, I'm 100% right. Programming and this thing is not about myself. Like I've said it in one of my first class, nobody built it alone. You need your friends, a developer. Dreamer is not built by one person. Amazon, Twitter, Facebook, none of them are built by one person. Name any big company is not built by one person. It's a group or team. That's why nobody just employ just one person and say, if you employ just one person to build what is it called, everything in your probably your work, or you are trying to be an entrepreneur and you're getting everything, just check it. It will look like it will grow, but I can tell you that it won't grow like that. It'll just be like the kind of roadside business that only one person is just trying to make it work. So let's leave that. Okay, so list computer. Somebody's asking, even the one I submitted 2 days ago also changed to the same link. Which I check on 3 assignments, they all bring up the same thing on CodePen. Are you sure you're submitting the right thing, or you're not just submitting your own listen? Try to check up with your friend and ask how did they submit dice, or so that in case of next time. As I said, before you submit your assignment, preview them very well, send to your friend and just do it. Facebook will never just change. Facebook.com, aside something happened to it, it is being touched, the URL is being tampered with. So, in as much as the owner of what's it called is there and there's no attacker, and I don't think anybody wants to attack your URL. Now, what is there? Just your assignment. So, who do you offend that would want to just change your URL for you? It can't be changed like that. No. Okay, probably not. Just try on another browser. Then I have somebody just asking, what's the least computer processor for coding? Well, for now, I would say people can still use AMD Pentium, but don't use Celeron. Celeron would actually just very, very, very slow. So I would say, what's it called? This A was AMD, Intel, AMD Pentium. Those ones are still okay. But I would advise anyone, if you're getting a system, if you plan on getting a new system, I would say try Core i3. That should be like the minimum. The I series is like should be your minimum of you trying to code, because if you get to a point, even i3 is still low, but not so low. If you get to a point when you're trying to run other things, then your computer start malfunctioning. You'll be like, system I bought 3 months ago, or less than 3 months ago, is misbehaving. That's probably because you are using something that is heavier than it. So please explain what GitHub is used for. Because I would only accept this question because GitHub was the people that you should know what GitHub is used for as a developer. Yeah, you should know. If you don't know what GitHub is used for, then I don't think it's very okay. It's very cool by for you. GitHub is, what is it called? It's just like, let me say you have your folders. You know how you have your folders on your computer. You save everything on your folders. If you come back to your computer, you can access your folders. So take GitHub like an housing where you stay. If you are kept in that house, you will always be there aside you are deleted. So GitHub is a code storage where you store all the folders of your code. It helps you to house your code, and also GitHub is a what is it called? It's an app that you can use in when you're going that you can use to connect other apps and publish whatever code you have. So you can also browse, like I said, browsing is always very good. You get everything that you need online. What is GitHub? My first resort every time I have issue is browser without what is it called doing this thing. So it has it here. GitHub is an internal hosting service for software developers, version control. It provides okay, let's just skip this. Maybe we just go for what GitHub is used for. GitHub is a code hosting platform. It lets you and other projects on sorry, it lets you and others work together on projects from anywhere. So it helps you to like store your project. It stores it and can be accessed from anywhere. So that's what GitHub is used for. Then I'm taking 3 more questions because we are out of time already. So I have someone who's saying, please, how do you link CSS with your HTML? Oh, you is that the next class? Yes, that's the next class. Like that's with 3 stacks that you'd also be seeing. So just wait patiently and you'd also get all of that. But if you are so anxious to know how it works, you can also check the tutorial with 3 tags and you will get it to work. Then as somebody was asking, you could try to make sure you are on the actual code of the assignment. Okay, thanks for responding that Mrs. or Mr. Akinsanya Fatia. I really don't know who you are, but that's actually great. Thank you for the wonderful work. Okay, guys. Yeah, we've come to the end of today's class. I hope you people enjoy today's class. Other than the previous one, I always hope to make you guys understand what are doing better and people to understand programming in a very great way and in a very good way. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, our normal routine, and we're surely going to be better. Thank you very much and God bless. I remain Sylvercodez. Bye.